Welcome to Encounter, where we celebrate putting faith into action and community leaders who live out compassion, grace, and love. We're a program of the Broome County Council of Churches that addresses food insecurity through CHOW and the Greater Good Grocery, provides hospital and jail ministry, builds wheelchair ramps, and assists neighbors with transportation and shopping services through Faith in Action volunteers. We invite you to the conversation. Encounter your neighbors as we learn to walk together in love and kindness.
Brothers and sisters, good morning and welcome to the Encounter program sponsored by the Broome County Council of Churches. I'm your host, Mark Kimpland, the senior pastor at the Endwell United Methodist Church. As we look at our calendars, it is the season of fall. And we are in this season preparing for these months ahead. But it's also the season that we begin to really focus on a very important mission in this area, and especially in the Upper New York Conference of the United Methodist Church, which is the Red Bird Mission. That doesn't wait until the fall to get started, because this work has already started and has been in progress throughout the summer. And so it is an important program today to kind of refresh our memories and to be prepared for our work that is ahead of us with the Redbird Mission. So I'd like to introduce our guests this morning on this show. I first want to introduce Tracy Nolan from the Redbird Mission, all the way down in Kentucky this morning, and she is the Community Outreach Director for the mission. We have also Dave Alexander, that is the Upper New York United Methodist Church Redbird Mission Coordinator. And we also have Tom Scheibner, who's been an active volunteer with the Redbird Mission and also a member of the Endwell United Methodist Church. Good morning to all of you again.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad you are here. Tracy, I'm going to ask that you start us off here this morning. If you want to kind of give a refresher on the Redbird Mission, there may be folks that are listening or hearing this for the very first time that don't have an understanding of what it is and the important work that you do. So can you spend a few moments and share your thoughts about that?
Sure. Thank you very much, Pastor Mark. Redbird Mission is located in southeastern Kentucky. We primarily serve residents that live in Clay, Bell, and Leslie counties. We've been here since 1921, serving the most basic needs in this community, beginning with schools and healthcare. And to this day, we continue with much of that. We have a pre-K through 12th grade Christian school. At this national mission institution, we also have many other programs, such as Work Camp, where we go out and work on substandard housing or to make them safer, drier, and build wheelchair ramps, room additions, those kinds of things. We do support the healthcare as well. We have a dental clinic that's running here, and then we lease a primary care clinic with Advent Health. And then some of the newest is we've been partnering with mental and substance use disorder counselors. And so we've got a wide variety of those services available in this rural area. This is a very economically distressed community. Nearly 40% of the population is in poverty. And when I say poverty, I mean severe poverty. A lot of the families are lucky to have $943 a month to live on. So it's very difficult to do that. About 26% are individuals with disabilities. So again, having access to the necessary healthcare specialists that they need is very challenging. So the work that we do here, primarily clients are going to come to community outreach because of food, because of hunger. So hunger relief and basic needs, toilet paper, hygiene supplies, that's why they're going to come to outreach. And then of course we have social determinants of health case management. So I've got community health workers that then begin to tackle all the poverty issues that's preventing them from getting the healthcare access and needs that they have. So we are very busy. We're serving over 100,000 meals a year. We're doing home delivered meals. We're doing food boxes. There's just so much here. And then, of course, we try to empower the clients. So, we encourage adult education. We do so many more things to help them get on their feet and be able to contribute and give back. And then we have gardening programs to try to wean them off of the food pantries. We've got farmers markets. It's very active and vibrant here at Redbird. We are 45 minutes tucked deep in the mountains. So David and Tom and some of the others, they've seen how isolated and rural we are. So I really encourage everyone to pray for the families here and support us if you can.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. The need, as you just painted and illustrated, is very real and very deep. And so that's without question. And so then it becomes, how then do we, as human beings, respond to that need? And that's where our brother David Alexander is going to come in and share a little bit. The Upper New York Conference of the United Methodist Church has been very involved in this over the I know that at least I know over the last decade or so. And Dave, you've been a very big part of that. You're more or less the coordinator of this area in getting things to the Redbird mission. Where do things stand now in your preparation, and what are the dates you might be looking at to head down to the Redbird mission? What can you share with folks?
Well, okay, we are in the process. Well, I'm in the process of sending out numerous emails to all the different districts within the Upper New York Conference, and also to all the churches, explaining about the mission and what we are trying to collect as far as items. We are trying to do at least 3,000 or more shoe boxes of personal hygiene supplies. We're taking, they have to be new sheets, pillows, book packs, backpacks, new books, new toys, anything that is new, we'll pack up and put into 26-foot trucks with our intent that we are going to be going, I think, November 4th. I'm looking at the calendar wrong. We'll be leaving December 2nd, which is a Monday, to be there on Wednesday to unload. And I know Tracy usually has a group of people there to help us. I mean, we slowly but surely we're collecting things already. We've got boxes and boxes of toothpaste. We've got sanitizer. We have different things that people can use to help them supply, or the mission can supply throughout the year to people. So that's a good thing. We've started collecting shoe boxes from people. So we've got probably 2 pallets of shoe boxes already at our storage area. So we feel very fortunate. And we found that a lot of churches outside of the Upper New York Conference now want to be part of this. So we picked up a Baptist church, an Episcopal church, a Catholic church that want to be part of this. The word has kind of gotten out what we're doing, and people feel the need. I mean, I've been involved in this for quite a while. We started out as just a collection point for them to drop shoe boxes off, and they came and picked them up. And those people no longer could do as far as taking them down. So I volunteered to coordinate taking shoe boxes down. We started out with 1 truck and have gone now to 2 trucks, and they're just loaded. We have to be very careful of not being overweight.
Yes.
So we take them and get them weighed after we load them. We've had experience from that standpoint. So we are really, we're working hard to make sure that we are doing everything right and everything is packed securely. So when we get to the mission, stuff is in a very good shape for them. So it's a great thing to do, and I think I can say God has called us to do what we're doing. It's just amazing. And if you go down there, and as we drive in to the mission and you go through the hills and you see the homes and the streams and everything, and you realize that, we in Upper New York State are very fortunate to have homes like we do, because those people are living in shacks. They live across the creek that if it rains hard and floods, they have no way to get across. They wait there. It's, it's just really, it's mind-boggling from that standpoint to see what it's like down there. And I know I've been, uh, it's really tugging my heart all the time. And I feel that, if we can do this, we should do it. So.
Yeah, it's important. It's important work. And one of the things that I want to reinforce, Dave, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I want to direct, especially those within the United Methodist Church, to visit the conference website at unyumc.org and click under the missions tab, and you will find the Redbird Mission. And on that tab, it will also have all of the churches listed that are drop-off points this year. So do check that out. And there are a number, about a dozen or so drop-off points that you can send shoeboxes to. And this is where I'd like, Tom, you asked me yesterday, what might I ask? I don't know. I do want to ask this, though. It just came into my mind. I said, this would be a great question to ask. Tom, you have been such a blessing to this ministry. I know that you and Ken Shalak slug a lot of miles to some of these drop-off points and such. And I'd be interested to kind of get your perspective. What have you found at those places with those people who have been collecting and such things, and the churches? And what have you found in their spirit? What have you found when you arrive there with a truck and they meet you? Can you describe that for folks that might be a little apprehensive, but what have you found when you're there to pick up things and bring them back?
It's really unbelievable the joy that people get in wanting to help on this mission. I mean, we have local missions that we also support, the food bank and food at Endwell. But to go out and add a mission that's ongoing for so many years, I've been involved about 10 years, the people themselves are joyful in wanting to help this. And every once in a while, we'll have a church of sometimes a number of women folks, more so than any men in that particular congregation. They actually almost come running out to load the truck for us and always make the facilities available.
Yeah.
And they understand what we go through. And some of the churches have picked up some of the burden of bringing the shoe boxes to us, which is really helpful in cutting down on our mileage and expense. And they add in a little bit of extra cash to help support the trucks to go to Kentucky. And it's just a real joyful experience. They are so proud of any quantity that they get. And we appreciate every box we can get. And the traveling in itself, while we're doing the traveling, anybody that finds out why we have our Redbird hats on and we stop for a meal or something, they may ask about it, and they are totally impressed that somebody would be working on the knees in Kentucky from New York. It just brightens everybody's day for us to tell the mission and for them to reply in the joy that goes into it. And they understand. I usually tell them, hey, this is every year that we need the basics.
Yeah.
And Southeastern Kentucky is a beautiful place. I absolutely understand why the people don't want to leave there. Sometimes comments are, well, if it's that rough there, why don't they go somewhere else? You don't understand. It's like leaving home. And you can't do that easily. You have to plan for a long time. Anytime I made my move to Endwell, it was years of planning. Yes, we're going to do it and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they're just in such a great place that I wouldn't want to leave either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing is
Yeah.
the joy in helping on this mission.
It's been fun to watch that grow. Also, the number of churches that are now really a part of this at one level or another, and I just want to thank the team because it's not only slugging the miles to go get the things, you got to bring them back. And I've seen many times where the truck has come back at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And it's got to be unloaded. So it's not just the simple process. So if there are churches that can get things to the drop-off points and or deliver them here, that would be a great help for the entire project. So thank you, Tom, for that.
One
Tracy,
more quick comment
please.
you brought up about the people and others involved. There's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are involved in this. You have a whole crew in New York that we know the quantity of putting this together. And then when we get down to Redbird with Tracy, she has a whole crew of people there to receive it, along with all the other missions that go on of people volunteering at Redbird. It's just a phenomenal number of thousands, I would say, of people that are involved in this project.
Great point. And a great illustration that we are always better together.
Yeah. I'd like to add one thing. Tom kind of mentioned on our travels. We've always stopped in Erie, Pennsylvania for a lunch on our way down. And there's been one particular waitress there, and she's been there every year we've been there. And she recognizes us as the Redbird people. And it's just, it makes you feel so good that here's somebody that we walk in, you're the Redbird people. And here, it's just a great feeling. And that happens wherever we go. People recognize us, we have our hats on and everything. And it's a good feeling to know that people appreciate what we're doing.
Thank you, absolutely. Friends, we are blessed this morning to have Tracy Nolan, the Community Outreach Director at the Redbird Mission, and also Tom Scheibner and Dave Alexander, who are leaders in the Upper New York Conference for the Redbird Mission. I'd like to go back to Tracy. Tracy, could you just spend a moment with us today? Are there any specific messages or thoughts that you want to share with our listeners and viewers as we really get this cranked up? Because I know that Tom and David and the team have been working throughout the summer to ramp this up, and it's going now. So is there anything specific that you want to share with our listeners and viewers that might help motivate them to be a part of this?
Thank you, Pastor Mark. Of course, I just would like to encourage you. I've had some say, well, how much of a difference is a shoebox? Well, to my families, it's a great deal. When you've got families coming into our food pantry and I've got a little cubby when they first walk in, and I've got some toiletries and some snacks they can grab. They're immediately grabbing something to eat as they're waiting for their turn to go through the food pantry. And then as they're making their choices and they gather up and they have their children with them and they start to leave, they'll say, do you have any toilet paper? Do you have any deodorant? Do you have any toothbrushes? That's heartbreaking. And so how important is a shoebox? It's incredibly important. And so these families are so thankful to get them. They need the supplies that are in them. And then most of you put in a little devotional track or something. So then there's hope, there's faith, there's God's word. They can sit down and share with their family. And then you all put a little surprise. There's a little gift, a little toy, something extra. God is everywhere. And that is what's so impressive to them, that people from other states even care that they exist, that you all are supporting the ministries here at Redbird Mission. I just can't thank you enough. And like Pastor Mark said, if you want to check out the website to find out the other ministries that work in tandem to holistically address the needs of these families, redbirdky.org. I encourage you to do that. And if you cannot give, if you cannot shop and put together a shoebox, pray for us. Or help give a gift to the church to help with the mileage, the traveling down, or the renting of the vans. There's so many behind the scene things you can do. So I just, God bless you all. I appreciate the opportunity to share. So thank you very much.
Yeah. As you share that, it just is amazing to me. The spinning plates that go to spin more plates, because that's what happens in impactful ministry. That's really the definition of making an impact and bearing fruit is getting as many people involved, doing as many different tasks, and using their different gifts for the specific outcome. And so, thank you. I hope folks really take what you have said to heart. I'd like to just ask Dave and Tom maybe a kind of a spiritual, deeper question here on this. And you can take it wherever you want to take it, and whoever wants to go first, don't fight over it. But what have you learned? What have you learned about this mission that impacts your faith and your spirit, or the way, or maybe the way you see life? What has this experience done for you, and how has it changed you?
I think it's as far as I'm concerned, it's changed a lot for me. Uh, Knowing that, number one, we're helping people that need help, and to go down there and see. I mean, we've been at the mission dropping off the shoe boxes, and people have been coming up uh, to get items from the mission, and it's just, it tears at your heart that here are people that don't have anything. And I know we've both Tom and I have talked with some of the people that have come into the mission, and I'll tell you, it's just, it makes you feel like, I mean, first, I consider that, how lucky we are, but it's so great to know that we can help somebody by providing them the simplest things, a toothbrush, a toothpaste, a towel, or sheets, or whatever. It's just amazing. These people, they appreciate everything. And it's, for us, it's a great, I don't know, just a great thing to do. Uh, and I know, and I talk with all the churches up here, and you explain what you're doing, they feel they feel we're blessed that we can help them. And it's one of those things that, you know, I get frustrated sometimes with it, but we try to do things to. We've tried to make it a little bit easier this year. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you keep trying. And we've tried some new things this year as far as going to the districts, as far as having them do stuff for us. It's a learning experience every year, and it's a good experience.
Yeah.
And I feel God has really touched me to be part of this, and I know it's done the same for Tom. So.
Well, you have been a blessing in doing so. One of the things that is so apparent to me as I attend clergy meetings and such, I'll have colleagues come to me, especially around this time of year, Octoberish, Novemberish, where their congregations are blessing the boxes during worship, and they'll have 15, 20, 25 boxes, and they got them in a van ready to come up, or a car ready to come up. And it's exciting. And as Tom said, that includes thousands of people, which is kind of neat. Tom, what about you? What have you learned? How has this mission changed your life?
I think for me, the biggest difference is I'm not a preacher. I can't do what a pastor does, and I just do my best. And after going down to Redbird, I learned that, wow, I can help make an impact.
Yeah.
And that added to me something I never would have really realized. Over the 10 years, run into so many people that really say thank you to me. I didn't do anything. I just drove a truck. But it is a mission. It is our commitment to our Christianity that we should help people. And I guess in addition, a large piece is I will never look at the state of Kentucky as just another state.
Mm.
I learned a lot about southeastern Kentucky, and it's absolutely beautiful in the woods of the Daniel Boone Forest.
Mm.
That's the biggest difference, is learning that I can help, and every person that donates $1 or puts in a shoebox is providing an unbelievable mission.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that, Tom. And just the idea of the magnitude that this has grown to has just been very impressive to watch. The number of people that this is a main priority, or at least a very top priority among many, many churches in this district and in this conference. And it's been exciting to watch this unfold, and the number of people that are a part of this. Tracy, I'm going to give you the last word. We only have about a minute or two left. Is there anything that you want to say, or maybe a need that's immediate that we might be able to help you with as we gear up in high gear here? So do you have anything you want to share as we wrap up our time together?
Thank you very much. Just like you said, Christmas isn't just in December. So please keep the families here at Redbird Mission in southeastern Kentucky in your prayers all year long. And if you have the ability to support throughout the rest of the year, become a donor, send gifts. We have some people will go on Amazon.com and send us 1 package of diapers a month. And they're able to do that. And God bless them for that. Many times I've had a client come in and ask for something I just gave the last of. And then the very next day, a donation will come, a box of just small items. But to those families and that mother, that means everything. So I just encourage you to keep what's going on down here in southeastern Kentucky. These items that you're giving are needed, but they're consumable. So they get used up. And then in a month or two, they're needed again. So just thank you so very much. I encourage you to check out the website for Redbird Mission and become a partner. God bless.
Fantastic. Friends, it's been an honor and a privilege to have Tracy Nolan, the Community Outreach Director of the Redbird Mission, and also Tom Scheibner and Dave Alexander, who play a big role in the Redbird Mission in the Upper New York Conference of the United Methodist Church. Please keep them in prayer. Please go to the websites that we've described here during this time together, and please look into your heart and give what God and the Holy Spirit will lead you to give. So to all of you, blessings on your day, and please keep the Redbird Mission in your prayers and in your actions. Have an awesome day.
Thank you.